shot first, or you want to do the intro first?
What's the intro gonna be?
I mean, the intro's quick.
Let's do the intro real quick.
All right. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Lazy Gringo podcast. I'm your host, Christian, joined by my business partner, roommate, and one of my best friends, Alex. All right, now I think it's time for the shot. Unless you want to say hi.
Hey, everybody. My name's Alex.
I can't believe that's tequila.
No, I mean, it is.
Some firesides. All right. All right, so welcome to episode 1, season 1, episode 1. I don't know. We're probably not going to do seasons. But, all right, so welcome to the Lazy Gringo podcast.
So this is officially episode 1.
This is officially going to be episode 1.
Uh-huh.
Everything we recorded with Nick, we might use at a later time.
Uh-huh.
We might just try and get Nick back to Memphis at some point and just re-record the episode a little bit better now that we know what we're doing, XYZ. All right, so Alex, I know you and I have talked about this multiple times, but why don't you just give us a quick rundown of what these awesome Lazy Gringo pants actually are?
What they are.
And how everything came to be. Tell our story.
So, the pants themselves were something that kind of, like, I first saw them and first put a pair on when I was like, maybe, it was right when I graduated high school, actually. So that would have been what, 18 years old? That's about right.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that's not right.
Most people are 18 when they
This is
graduate high school.
when Max, my older brother, graduated college, and I'm sorry. This is when Max graduated high school, and I was about to go into college or high school. So Max graduated high school. I was about to go into high school.
So you're about to be a freshman.
I was about to be a freshman.
Okay.
And we went and visited family friends, Kiko Gonzalez, who is my mother's artist partner.
Absolutely.
He's a famous artist in Bolivia, and like we call him Uncle Kiko.
Okay.
So
He also helped you paint these incredible paintings behind us, but you were the painter of these.
Cheers.
She is.
But yes, he's the one who I learned the fundamentals of like true abstract painting in this style.
Okay.
But anyway, me and Max essentially organized a trip to go to Bolivia for the first time.
Okay.
And my mom had already been there a few times, and whenever we go there, we like always go to the different shops and things like that and search for different trinkets and stuff that you can bring back as gifts.
Yeah, totally.
As you do when you're on vacation. And walking around all the different little stores, we kind of started coming across these pants, and we thought they were super cool. And then, we maybe bought a pair or two. And then the more we hunted, the more we realized that these pants are everywhere.
Okay.
So there was like hundreds and hundreds of different styles. So it's like we bought that first pair for way too expensive, and it was like, oh man, 1 of 5. That was like, oh, this is a pretty cool color. But then you realize that there's like hundreds, and you can like really search out like whatever, like the best freaking color that you could ever want.
Yeah, absolutely. Best combination.
One with,
yeah.
Yeah. And so we bought a whole bunch of them and then brought them back. And my mom pretty regularly goes to Bolivia for artist purposes. And this was like the go-to present to bring back for people.
Okay.
And people really loved them. And so that's kind of how like I first saw them.
Emma.
Hey, Emma.
Leave him alone.
What are you doing, puppy? Yeah. And as I got a little bit older, started going to college and stuff like that, I always thought about, you start thinking about like, what would you sell if you were going to make a company? Hey, Emma.
Go lay down.
Go lay down.
Oh, fuck, now the cat's coming. All right, so you bring them back as gifts. It's the go-to gift. Sorry,
and everybody loves them.
Let's backtrack a little bit.
And fast forward years later, I'm in business school, and you start thinking about things a little bit differently, and you start thinking about like what sort of business would you come up with if you were going to make a business. It's like, oh, I could potentially create this product or create this service or whatever it is. And this was always something that stunk out in my head for the longest time, and just as like an idea.
I mean, they stick out in a crowd, might as well stick out in your head.
Right,
so.
dude, for real. And it didn't actually become like an idea that I started to pursue until I decided to make a pretty drastic life change. I quit my job that I had gotten with Amazon that I started working after I graduated college, which was a really good job. But my work-life balance wasn't very balanced, and I knew it wasn't what I wanted to do forever. And I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do something crazy. I'm gonna take some savings and try to utilize my international business degree that I got for something that I actually like am passionate about.
Yeah.
Instead of just like, being a corporate like tool or whatever. So I decided to quit. I went to Bolivia to essentially do like R&D to see if it's even a possibility, like what it would even look like.
Yeah, absolutely.
To try and bring them up here. And that's a whole story in and of itself when I went down there. So
we'll get down. We'll get there at a different time.
Mm-hmm.
So you bring some pants back to the States. You start selling them. For some backstory on me, Alex and I went to college together. After I graduated college, I moved about 6 months after college. I moved off to Denver, Colorado. Alex was actually at my goodbye party, and I won.
Where was that?
It was at mine and Tyler's old townhouse, and I actually won the first pair of Lazy Gringos.
That's right. So because it was like it was a Dirty Santa.
Yeah, it was Dirty Santa.
That's right.
And I won the first pair of Lazy Gringos.
So yeah, the first pair of Lazy Gringos that actually had the logo and everything on it.
Yep.
Chris was the one that got it.
And then I took those off to Denver, and about 3 months after I moved out there, no, actually about 6 months after I moved out there, you said that you wanted to come live there for a few months. Mm-hmm. So you and I lived together, and we started shredding the gnar pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can go into it a little bit, but man, I fucking miss the mountains.
Dude, me too, man.
I miss the mountains.
Me too. It's been years now. I think the last time I went was when I was living with you, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, because I had your board, so. Yeah.
Yep.
Man, and the last time I went was before COVID, like a month or two before COVID. I went to Park City to go visit some family and got to board those mountains. Very different from the Colorado Rockies, but still very, very cool. Park City's a totally unique experience.
So what do you love? Why do you love snowboarding, Chris?
The fucking freedom, man. Like, you just get on there and you get up to the top of the mountain and you literally feel like you're on top of the world. And just when you just kind of get into that zone and everything's working and you just have like a damn near perfect run, that's just the greatest feeling in the world, man. Just the freedom of flying down a mountain and you're just on a piece of wood pretty much.
Yeah, dude, you said it. When you're on top of the mountain, that's my happy place. If I ever,
absolutely.
Like on the top, like when it's like you've been, it took you forever, you saved money or whatever, you bought your pass, you got your gear in order, you woke up early, you drove out to the mountains, and you waited in line, and you rode up the gondola and like the multiple different gondolas, and then you finally get to the point to where you're at the top of the mountain, and then the last thing you have to do is just fucking go.
Just go.
Just send it, bro. That's my favorite place in the world to be, because no matter what, like no matter how successful or whatever I ever become, like that will be the place. Like even if I'm like dirt poor, if I can make it to that point, or if I'm like a billionaire, and that's gonna be the place I would rather be than any other place, no matter what.
Totally.
So it's like when you're at that top the top of that mountain, and then all you have to do is you're strapped in, and all you have to do is like let go.
Yeah.
That's the place to be.
You know, and so that's why every time I've taught someone how to board, I get them to that point, and then I just leave them. I just leave them. I'll get them like 10, 15 feet, you know, to where they can't climb back up, and I just zip off. Because, you know, they need to experience the mountain by themselves. They need to be like, all right, I'm up here, I've got to get down, I've just got this piece of fucking wood strapped to me.
That adrenaline that like starts to build.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. And then by the time I get back to them, I'm warmed up and they're kind of over that whole like, all right, I've fallen a couple of times. I know what falling's like. And then it's so much smoother from that point on. But that's how I was taught. Literally, my dad got me a lesson, and it was like 8 a.m. I had to go meet the guy. I was like maybe like 7, 8 years old. And yeah, so we get to the top, and the guy's like, all right, we get over, and he goes, all right, I'll see you, Christian. And he just deuces. This is my ski instructor. And I was like, the fuck? Like, what am I supposed to do? And like 5 minutes later, he came back, and I had fallen 3 or 4 times, but like I was over it. I was like, all right, dude, whatever the fuck you tell me to do, I've fallen, you know. So there's no fear in that now. So, but yeah, man, just that feeling when you're at the very top of the mountain and you're about to send it over. That's truly the best. So, you're in Denver for about 6 months.
Yep.
You're about to leave on your grand adventure to Costa Rica, South America, Australia, and you basically asked me to take care of Lazy Gringo for you. And you decided at that point to give me some ownership in the business in exchange for any and all effort that I was going to put towards it. And now fast forward 3 years from that point.
Has it really been 3 years? It has, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been 3 years, you know?
Maybe 2.5?
No, it's been a solid 3.
Jeez.
It's been a solid 3 years. Now for the first time since that day, we're living together. We're not hemispheres apart anymore. And it's just, we have, in my opinion, a golden opportunity to really take this brand, take this thing for what it is, grow it into what you and I both believe it really can be. I mean, we've talked about this many times, but you know, I think Lazy Gringo is so much more than just, oh, we're a casual loungewear line. No, we are a fucking lifestyle. We are sit down, be lazy, however you decide to be lazy, whether that's TVs, movies, smoking weed, drinking beer, whatever. Be lazy, live that Gringo lifestyle, you know, embrace it, but be adventurous at the same time, because you and I are both fairly adventurous people. You know, be adventurous but stay lazy. Like,
yeah,
if that makes sense.
For sure. I mean, the name Lazy Gringo, which we've chatted about before, it's spurred essentially from the idea of like these are lounge brands, right?
Absolutely.
So it's like this is the core of the brand. At first, this is all it was going to be, and then we started expanding into beanies and other gear and this and that. But the whole Lazy Gringo name, part of it was that it's like somewhat, there's like an irony to it in a way. It's like, you know, we go down to Bolivia, we find the stuff, we ship it to you. All you have to do is sit on the couch. You can be a Lazy Gringo. We'll take care of the hard part, and that's like kind of part of it. Like,
absolutely.
Lazy Gringo, you can get these awesome lounge pants that at first you could only get like when we were giving them to friends as gifts. Like, oh my god, this is so cool. Where'd you get them? Bolivia, man. Sorry, you can't get them.
Yeah.
And it's from Bolivia. So
so now we're taking
that bridge.
Yep.
Now you can just keep on being a Lazy Gringo. You can get these badass lounge pants from halfway across the world.
Absolutely, and they are super breathable, but super light, but also weirdly warm. Like, you know, and they've got the awesome drawstrings at the bottom, so you can tie them, make them into capris if you want.
That's how I like to wear them. I like to tie mine at the bottom.
Yeah, I'm a loose wearer.
You like the loose?
I like them loose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like my women. You know? I'm a terrible person. Well, all right, man. You know, that kind of got over everything I wanted to go over today. I have no idea what we're going to do for episode 2. You know, I've got some ideas of like, we could talk about, you know, what we're listening to, what we're watching, you know, what we're doing, you know, shit like that. I know you and I, like, we're planning a video shoot tomorrow and stuff like that, trying to do some advertising for Lazy Gringo.
Just talk about the brand. Like, there's so much history behind it already. Even though it's like a kind of young company, there's still so much to it, I feel like. Like, there's, you know, we can talk about it for a long time.
Oh, absolutely.
So we'll keep on expanding on how it all got started.
For sure.
And all that good stuff. What do you think, Emma?
All right, so before we go, let's do this. I'm going to say 1 or 2 things that I'm currently watching or listening to. You do the same, you know, maybe suggest a good movie, some music you've been listening to lately, whatever that may be, and then we'll call it a night.
Cool.
Yeah,
you go first.
Alrighty, so the first thing I'm going to suggest is the Dissect podcast exclusively on Spotify. What this podcast does is each season they break down a different album, whether it be from The Education of Miss Lauryn Hill, Tyler the Creator, Kanye West. This season they're doing Because the Internet by Childish Gambino. I'm a huge Gambino stan. And that album...
Gambino what?
Stan.
What's that?
Do you remember the song by Eminem, Stan, about the fan that's like obsessed with them and goes crazy?
That sounds familiar. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to play it for you later. And I might even figure out how I'm going to end the podcast with
all right,
it because
cool,
we've got the song set up now.
Nice.
By the way, we do have a playlist on Spotify called the Lazy Gringo Podcast Playlist. Go check it out. Go follow it. It's going to be ever growing. Every episode we're going to add to it. Our guests will be able to add to it. Maybe one day y'all will be able to add to it. But the first thing I've been listening to is the Dissect podcast, and particularly their breakdown of the Gambino album, Because the Internet. And the other thing, I've been watching The Boys on Amazon. Just got done with season 1, about to start season 2 probably tonight when I go to bed. You came into my room the other day when I was watching it. It's violent. It's badass.
Oh, that's that.
It's the superhero. Yeah, like set and like.
Sounds pretty cool.
It's pretty fucking sick, dude.
Yeah.
It's violent. It's twisted. It's everything I love about TV. So.
Sounds like an interesting twist on all these superhero movies.
Absolutely. It just sets it truly
like
if they just had a giant social media team behind them, you know. All right, so Alex, your turn. What have you been watching? What have you been listening to?
I've been watching Sick Note, which is pretty not that great, to be totally honest. It's that TV show. It's got who plays Ron Weasley?
Rupert Grint.
And I watched Grint. Rupert Grint. It's got him in it, and that's the reason why I started watching it. I was like, oh, cool, that's Ron Weasley. Started playing it, and actually just finished the 2nd season tonight, and that's all they got. But it's a TV show about this. He's essentially a compulsive liar, and in a nutshell, accidentally fakes having cancer.
Oh, I've heard about this.
Yeah, and him and his doctor get into all sorts of crazy situations, and it's entertaining. It's definitely not like, you know, Emmy Award winning or anything.
Okay.
But it's, you know, it keeps you. I mean, I watch it all, so.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Podcasts, I listen to Snacks Daily pretty much every day. That's
Okay.
probably my favorite podcast. It's like a finance podcast about like what's going on in the stock market, but like just done by these two guys in little like 20-minute snippets about like the news that's happening that day. And I feel like just from listening to it for the past, like month or so, I just like know so much more about like what's happening in today's like
What's going
financial
on?
market.
Yeah, totally.
So I really love listening to that. They keep it's fun and interesting and kind of funny, and like they keep you engaged, and it's kind of short and sweet, but you like learn a lot. And they have a good format that's kind of like they talk about like 3 different things, and then they kind of sum it all up, and then it's really easy to understand. So
Okay.
that's one of my favorites.
Awesome.
Snacks
Hell yeah.
Daily.
Snacks Daily.
Mhm.
All right. Well, I think that about calls it. My beer's almost done.
Mhm.
Emma looks like she needs to go out, so I don't really have anything else. Alex, I appreciate you doing this. To the 5 people that are going to listen to this, we're going to get better. So
Mom, thanks
Yeah.
for listening.
Yeah, definitely our parents. My dad won't listen, but my mom definitely will. So, Mom, thanks for listening. But yeah, I don't really have anything else. Stay lazy.
Cheers, bro.
Cheers.
I love sharing this bed with you. Waking up in the afternoon. Nothing we gotta do. Another little summer honeymoon. We can go grab some food. Kick it out back by the pool. Stay here and get comfortable. Another little summer honeymoon. Fall back in the sheets. Making contact, sign a contract. I know you work hard, make a call back. Just want you to relax. Like why not? I can fit in that right spot. All I got me picking up plant pots, taking flu shots, suck it up about the groceries that you want. And every time I lay in this bed, you're on my mind like a headband. You're groovy, ooh, you got me catching these feelings like a mood ring. I'm all up on the sugar high from your smoothie. It's like we're in the movies, true thing. When you say all day, choreographing like a ballet. You got me riding backside, but I don't skate. It seems like every day is another little summer honeymoon. Waking up in the afternoon.